Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you this little plant haul that I did. This is the end of November plant haul. I wanted to go out to some garden centers before things got locked down again, because that's a possibility as things spike again. It's not doing so bad here in Ontario, but there are areas around me that are locking down, so I assume we might be next. And you never know if garden centers will close, yeah, hopefully they don't, but I just wanted to get out there one last time, just in case. And I wanted to share with you what I purchased. So this here is a Tradescantia Spethaceae. I hope that that's right, silver. I thought that this was a really cool plant. It doesn't even resemble a Tradescantia to me. It resembles a, what are they, Earth Star, the bromeliad. So I wanted to get this just to see how it would grow. It's in a hanging pot, but I don't believe this variety of Tradescantia is a trailer. I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but I think that this one just stays growing in a little rosette or a clump. So I'm going to take this out of this little hanging pot, and I think I'm going to put it into just a regular decorative pot, and we'll see what happens, and I will use this hanging pot for maybe a Hoya or something. But I thought that this leaf was really interesting, and for a Tradescantia, I think it's really cool to see sprays of flowers coming up, rather than the little lily, like a trillium-shaped flower, the 3 petals. You still have that style of flower. Up here, they're very small, inconspicuous, but it's interesting that they're not just growing at the tips of the leaves. Usually that's what happens, they grow really close to the leaves, but these ones are nice cute little sprays. So I'm really eager to see what this plant turns into. It's already a nice little plant. It was regularly $20, but it was on sale for $10. I don't know that I would pay $20 for it, but it's unique enough that I paid $10. So an interesting Tradescantia. I have another type of Tradescantia. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Neo something. If you follow my Instagram, you'll see it on Instagram. Anyway, that is the Tradescantia. That's one that I got. This one here needs a little bit more of a drink. I gave it a drink when I got home, but it's still in need. I'm going to repot it into a slightly bigger pot. It'll probably go into a 4-inch size pot. Does anybody know what that is? It's a Paelia Moon Valley. So this one has a really cool leaf design. It's got a lot of texture to it. It's got a lot of peaks and valleys in it, and it's kind of a 2 or 3 tone. It's got the dark green with the light green, and then there's like a burgundy on the inside, just below the peaks. So it's really colorful. The leaves get probably 2 or 3 times the size they are now. This is quite small, but it's a really interesting plant. I had this in the past. I think that it grows better as more of a terrarium plant than just growing in a pot. I think that the humidity requirements are a little bit higher, I think. I'm not sure, but it likes to dry down slightly between waterings, and it likes a bright indirect location. So I'm going to give it another try. I think when I grew it, it grew rather good, but for some reason one day it just crisped right up. So let's give it another shot. Like I said, I'm gonna give it a little bit bigger of a pot, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna do a typical potting soil with added perlite, just so that it drains well. Paelia, just in general, don't like to sit in water. They don't like to have really moist conditions, but they want to be damp. But they don't want to dry out fully, and they also don't want to be soggy. So it's kind of one of those in between. It can be difficult to maintain, but we'll give it a try. Anyway, if you grow this, let me know your tricks to making it thrive. So there's that one. This one I was really excited about when I saw it at the garden center. I wasn't really sure. If you're in the Ontario or the Greater Toronto area or Niagara region, this I got at Vermeer's. It is the Alocasia Black Velvet, and I think this is one of my favorites that I see besides Cuprea. I think it's Cuprea. I love the gassiness of Cuprea. But this one here, I think when I look at it, in photos, it's stunning. I think that the leaves get to be quite dark, almost black, and then the white veining. But there's like a texture to it, like a pillow kind of fluffiness that's just really, really gorgeous. It's different than the Friedeck, which I have, and it's over here. But I think that this one stays a little bit smaller than the Friedeck. Let me actually go get my Friedeck. I'll show you what it looks like. It's not doing so bad. It did better outside. The leaves are getting longer. It's getting its indoor foliage. It's not nearly as strong. Let me go out and grab that. I can't even fit it in frame. This is the Friedeck, so it's got a very similar leaf color and veining, but I think that the Black Velvet is going to be a little bit more stout than this one. It's going to be a little bit wider and a little not as long. So this is my Friedeck. Kind of a cool plant. I love it. I can't wait for it to go back outside. Alocasias do so much better outside for me than inside. It's always a struggle to keep it alive. Back to the Black Velvet. It's super cute, right? So when you're growing Alocasias inside, you want to give them as much light as possible. If you have a really, really, really bright window, you might need to move it back a bit. But I find that for many Alocasias, you can't give them enough light inside. So as bright of a window as you can, watch the leaves. If they start to burn, move it back a little bit. So they'll tell you what they like. They want to be constantly moist. They don't want to be ever dry, but they don't want to be soaking wet. And you also want to have a soil that drains really, really well. I like to put a little bit of slow-release fertilizer in mine. This already has some, so it's going to be fine for now. And they also like to have higher humidity. You'll find that if it gets too dry, you're gonna see some browning of the edges, some brown patches. It's just not going to do as well. And there's spider mite magnets. So always keep a watchful eye for spider mites. Check under the leaves, check on top of the leaves. You'll see that little flecking on there. You might see some webbing. So be diligent with it. I usually go around to mine once a week, once every second week at the least, just to see if there's anything happening. Because once you get an infestation, it doesn't take long for it to take hold and cause a lot of problems. But this one looks fantastic right now. They also like warmer temperatures, so average home temperatures should be fine, but I think they actually like to be a little bit warmer. I think between 75 and, say, 85 degrees. When they go outside for the summertime, they do beautifully. Higher humidity, higher temperatures. They also like a warmer nighttime temperature, which is fine inside, but it's always kind of warm. So, rambling. Can't wait to see how this one grows. I might put it in a little bit of a humidity dome for the winter time. This is a really bad time to start a very small plant. So for me with Alocasias, I can grow bigger Alocasias, but the small ones, I just want an insurance policy. And this little bulb or corm or tuber or rhizome or whatever you want to call it inside the soil there might not be big enough to support it going dormant. So I'm going to try my best to up the humidity and make sure that it thrives. So we'll see how this one grows over the next couple of months, and hopefully it does well enough so that it can go outside in the summertime. And then last but not least, there's this one. This one is a Philodendron Tahiti. I was hoping to get a Philodendron Mayoi, and this is a close second, I guess. So I really love the Mayoi for this style of leaf, and this leaf here reminds me of a Mayoi. But then the Tahiti is not necessarily as lobed. So I don't know what's going on here. It might be a Mayoi, it might be a Tahiti. We'll see as it grows up. And I wonder why it's reverting back to a smaller lobing. We'll see what happens as it grows. Hopefully it will get a little bit more lobed. I want more leaves like this. I'm going to take it out of the hanging basket. I don't like the way that it's growing in a hanging basket. I'm going to transfer it into a regular pot, and I'm going to give it a moss pole. Many times these trailers, you're not going to get the best growth out of it if it's just trailing. They want to climb up something, and when it climbs up something, usually the internodal spacing will decrease a bit, and the leaf size will get bigger, so will increase. So I want to try that out. So I'm going to get a little moss pole for it and see what happens. The vines are still quite small, so I could probably do with an 18 or 20 inch pole and see what happens, and see what happens to those leaves. But I wanted to share with you what it looks like now, and hopefully in the future. This one actually is a little worse for wear. But I wanted to see what happens to it as it grows, and hopefully it turns into a really, really nice plant. This one will require a nice free draining mix. It doesn't want to stay wet for too long, but it doesn't want to dry out 100%. So it's going to be one of those in between. If you grow aeroids, it's like most of them. So anyway, that is my little plant haul for the end of November. Hopefully this will do me until spring, because now that the temperatures are going down, it's not going to be very good to either have plants shipped to me, or even just going out to a garden center. It's not great to go through the outside temperatures. So anyway, this is hopefully it for this year. Hopefully in the spring we'll get back to it. So show me what you're getting for plants. I'd love to see what you're growing. Tag me on Instagram at Plants and Things. Post your photos to the Plants and Things What's Growing page on Facebook. I'd love to see what's going on. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.